Welcome back to our Global iTech Solution GITS-Playwright channel on video lecture 9. Before you started this lecture, I highly encourage you to complete previous lecture related to this course. Let's get started and jump on the topics. So today we'll be talking about organizing the test, leveraging playwright hooks, headless mode execution, and finally generate the Allure reports. So let's dive into it. So as you see on the last lecture, we are executing multiple validation, right? So the first validation is a count of the links on the home page, and the second validation, all the text on the home page. So now we'll be creating a multiple test for it. So how do we do that? We'll just separate the test over here. So this is the first test, and this is going to be a last test. So this is, we have to add the closing syntax, the first test. So that's when we have a two test. The first test this one, second test this one. So let's make the alignment. So this is all are aligned on the left hand side. And the first test, let's put validate links count on the landing page. And the second test would be validate expected link text on the landing page. That's all about it. There is a two test, right? We have. Now let's go ahead and run it and run the test. Okay, so there is a two test running, one workers with the Chrome. The first one, links count on the landing page, it's working. The second one, why it's not working? Because you see that on the second test there is no navigation, right? So let's put the navigation on the second test too. Okay, so let's put the navigation and make the alignment. Now it should be aligned with it. Okay, let's terminate that. Yeah, so it is failed, it is expected. Now let's save it and run it again. So now we have both test navigation URL. The both of them pass. But see over here, on both tests there is a URL. It is a common URL. What if we can use the hooks from the Playwright? So if you go to the Playwright hooks, Playwright website, you see that on the right hand side there is all the hooks, test. So one of the hooks we are using, test after all, test after each, test before all, test before each, test.described, right? So described only. So let's say if you want to run only this test described, so you can put only. If you want to skip it, you can skip describe.skip. Same thing will be working with the test, test.describe, test.skip, test.fail, right? All of them are like usable. You can use it. Test.only. Let's say there is a two test and you want to run only one. You can just add test.only. Test.set timeout. Only that specific test, which is we have two tests. Let's say you want to add set timeout, a specified amount. You can put them. You can skip it. You can slow it. Test.slow execution. It will be slow. It will be the execution slow. Then most of them are like the usable format. So you can use any one of them. Also, you can parallelly execute the script and the describes block, right? Let's go ahead and jump over here and we can organize our test. I already organized it. I'll just copy and paste the code, the snippet of it. So on the assertion, so last time we saw the assertion, and so we'll be using the describe block. We'll be using the describe block as a hooks, and also before each. So this is our test we started working with, right? and we'll be using the test.described, and we'll be using end of the line because inside the described we'll have to test. This is our ending line. So now inside the described we'll be just align both test. You see the test.described started with it, and all the way end it's finishing it. So inside the describe block there is a two test number 1, test number 2. So on the describe block we can put home page validation or landing page validation. Then we can run it. Let's see it is running or not. Every time, my suggestion or my opinion will be, every time you do some changes you have to make sure it is up and running. Good, perfect. Everything is working as expected. Now, as we have the common step as a over here, in the form authentications, basically on the, because we're starting working with the form authentications, right? We're starting with the form authentications. This is our form authentications. On the form authentications, we'll be using describe block, and end of the line we'll be using describe block. So let's make some alignment here. That's good. Good. Let's run it again. Now you'll be seeing the both tests are started with the home page validation, which is the describe block. Let's rename it. Instead of home, let's put landing page validation. Okay. So in both tests, as you see, that there is a two common steps. One steps, both are is a go to navigation, right? Navigate to that URL. So we'll be using another hooks called a before each. So before each step, we'll be executing the navigation command. So for that, we'll be just copying it, our hooks. So you can copy it from the website itself. Also, you can just write a code over here. So this is the before each, test.before each. And inside the test.before each, we'll be using page.goto, which is the same line, and we'll be deleting from here. Now take a look how simple it will be, the test validation. So we'll be removing from both tests the common step. That common step we are adding into the before each, which is the navigation. Now let's run it again. Let's see it is running or not. npm run test form auth. We are working with the form authentications. 2 worker, 2 test, 1 workers. 2 test meanings we have a 2 test as a test hooks, and 1 worker meanings is a 1 Chromium version or 1 Chrome browser. It is executing on the Chromium version of the website, of the browser. So both tests are passed, right? And headless mode, leveraging playwright hooks, organizing a test, generate Allure report. So we are already seeing over here is a test before each hooks, described hooks, and the test hooks. You can use over here only, and the skip also if you want to. Let's say I want to skip this one, the first one. The first one is a count, right? You can use it over here, skip. So it will skip the first one, it will execute the second one. You see that it's skipping the first one and then it's running the second one. So you can use all the hooks from Playwrights. There is many hooks, right? And it is really organizing. It is going to be really help for your test organizing. So let's generate a report. In order to generate a report, we'll be just using over here post test. So that's mean if I run it again, npm run test, or the previous command, it will be executing test cases. If all of them pass, it will automatically generate a report. Now on that report, so you see all the test cases, it's been here since beginning. Now inside the Chromium, the landing page validation, and inside the landing page validation, there is a validate link count on the landing page, and also validate expected link text on the landing page. Even though if it is confusing, right, you can delete all the report on the left hand side. So there is an automatic way to delete it. Every executions we'll be seeing in upcoming lectures, but for now just delete manually and run it again. It will generate a report with the latest results. Boom. So there is a 2 test case shows inside the Chromium, because this is our browser, landing page validation, which is our describe block, and validate expected link text. This is our actual test. If you click on it on the right hand side, you will see all the expected before hooks. This is our before hooks, before each hooks, and on that navigation, and after all the test is having text, right, assertion, and after hooks, this is the browser close. How cool it is, right? This is good. Okay, that's all for today. We'll come back with the next lecture, and till that, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching this lecture, and stay tuned for upcoming lecture for the rest of the course.